Hi everyone, it is Friday, September 29th, 2023. This is your Las Vegas real estate market update. Before we go over the numbers, the big news this week, unfortunately, is interest rates. Has been the story for a long time now. Interest rates just hit a 23-year high, about 7.3%. This sucks. Let's just be honest. This sucks. If you're a buyer out there, it's terrible. And it's more sucks because of where the prices are. And it's everything, it's not just home prices, everything is very high, very expensive these days. There's somebody that I was trying to work with who is a renter, and she was having an issue, never thought about home buying. And so we started discussing it. And when she went through the numbers with the lender, with the way interest rates are, she can only afford to buy a condo. She can't even afford to buy a house. And it's just that's just kind of how it is. Rates are so high, but the prices of the houses are high. These prices skyrocketed when the rates were so low. It's like a catch-22, right? So interest rates dropped so low, people were buying and they didn't care what the price was because of how the rates were, and it drove up the market substantially. I mean, some houses saw a 100% increase in value. It was insane. And that all happened in 2021, and it continued in 2022. And then what we've seen now is, have prices come down a little bit? Yes. And for a while, they lost 2022 gains, but they're still at 2021 numbers when they really skyrocketed when you list a house and you get 20 offers over 2 days. The problem is that we just don't have a lot of inventory. So sellers are still selling their houses, not at a fast pace by any stretch of the imagination, but they just don't have a lot of competition. So are they doing price reductions? Yes, but they don't need to price reduce the way that buyers want them to, because the market doesn't say they have to, because of how little inventory there is. Now, if this was back in 2007, when the housing market crash happened, there was 20,000 houses for sale at the time. As you'll see in a minute, it's only in the 3,000s right now in Las Vegas area. That's a huge difference. So when it's supply and demand. So when there's over 20,000 houses for sale and nobody's buying them, then there was a substantial drop in pricing because they had to in order to sell the house. Versus today, where there's 3,000 houses for sale, and let's just say no one's buying them. The numbers are low, right? People are buying them, but let's just say no one's buying them. It doesn't matter because there's just no inventory. So that's why prices aren't coming down the way they are, even though interest rates are so high. I feel for you guys out there. I really do, because I bought my house in 2017, newly married, one child, one on the way. We wanted to expand, just like many of you out there. And I was able to get in a house, and I could not afford my own house today. If the price point, if I had to buy today in the same situation, I could not afford it. I wouldn't know what to do. Just like many of you, I'd probably be renting. So I really feel for you guys. That doesn't mean it's all doom and gloom. You can afford to buy some of these houses. There are a lot of programs out there that are offering free money that you don't know about it just because people aren't talking about it. I'm not sure why, but there's a program right now that might give you up to $15,000 with basically no strings attached to help you get into a house. So no, not all doom and gloom. If you can afford to buy the house, let's buy the house, because you can get out of your rental situation. You can get into a neighborhood that you might be able to like. If you're not sure, you got to have that first conversation. That's a lot of it. A lot of people don't think that they can't afford to buy the house. You got to have that first conversation. So call me or go to searchforhomeapp.com. Just fill out the information, and you can at least start to have those conversations. So whether it's today you're ready to buy, or in the future, whether rates or prices come down to a level that makes sense for you and your family and your personal interest, this way you're ready to go. So there's no point, no harm, no foul in that. So let's take a look of where we are with these numbers right here. So I skipped last week. I had a very busy week with a buyer and a seller, and so I wasn't able to make a weekly update video, but that's okay. I think it's okay to take a week off once in a while and just see the numbers continue to go a certain way. So as you can see here, This week I pulled these numbers 2 days ago. I try to pull them on Wednesdays, even though this videos come out on Friday. We have 3,787 homes, single family homes for sale. This is in Henderson, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, North Las Vegas, and Las Vegas. So as you can see, we're about a little more than a month since I started tracking these numbers more recently, and slow increase, but we're only 340 houses more than what we were a month ago, so that's not a substantial jump. Under contract, so somebody wrote an offer and it got accepted this week, 517, same ballpark. So about 500 houses are going into escrow. That's a pretty, let's call it solid number. We've seen it in the 4s and 3s before. So 500 is good. When 2 years ago in 21, it was in the thousands. So that gives you an idea. 42 expired listings, 152 withdrawn from the market. That's normal. We sold 400 houses this past week, 402. That's normal. We've been in the 400s, low 400s now for over a month. Days on market average is 31 and the median is 17. That is a little bit of a jump up for the median because the median is what we prefer. It's the bell curve and it's right in the middle. Let's see how that trend goes. That's the first substantial jump in a while on the median. Sales price average is $545,000, $545,437 to be exact. And the median was 450. This is the third week in a row of 450 for the last 5 weeks. Like that's it. That's the median sales price of Las Vegas is $450,000. So take that with the interest rates and what they are. That's a high monthly payment for a lot of people. 472 price reductions. It was a pretty big jump over the last 3 weeks. 397, 461, 472. So let's keep an eye on this. If this number continues to go up, that means there are just less buyers, or at least the sellers are listing it too high and they're trying to chase the market a little bit. And so if you're a buyer, you might be able to get some sort of discount there. List price to sales price still in 98%, which means that they are listing a little bit too high and the price reducing. 9.4 weeks of inventory. So 9.4 weeks of inventory means how long it would take to sell everything we have at this week's what is sold. So as the active homes go up, homes for sale go up, but the number of sold stay the same, the weeks of inventory will rise. So nine weeks is still a little more than 2 months of inventory. So that still says we're in a seller's market, even though it is kind of slow, I guess. 535 new listings. So a little drop from 2 weeks ago. But if you look at the overall arc, 470, 440, 459, and now we're in the 500. So let's look at this. If we stay in the 500s in new listings, if new listings continue to climb, okay, and under contract stay the same, that's going to increase inventory, okay? Now, when we get over 4,000 houses for sale, this is a slow build. That's 300 over a month. So if we just say 300 over the next month, maybe by, we're about to walk into October, so maybe by November we'll be over 4,000 houses for sale. But it's usually the slower period. So if you're buying, what are we looking for? Let's pretend interest rates are where they are. They haven't decreased in a while. If you're a buyer, you want more inventory, because the more inventory's out there, the more options you have as the buyer, the more competition the seller has, which means the seller, if there's more competition for them and they are not getting a buyer, then the price reductions will start to happen. Not, again, pump the brake on a crash. People have been trying for a crash since 2019. I'm sure you guys have seen the meme out there about that. Millennials waiting for the crash. Don't wait for a crash. That's like, nothing says a crash is happening. It doesn't mean prices can come down. That's kind of the idea behind, there's a theory that the interest rates are so high because they want the prices to come down. That's the way you're fighting inflation on the housing market. But we're seeing inflation everywhere. It's not just the housing market, it is everything. And it's just another sector of our economy that's been affected. So if you're a buyer, you want more inventory. If you're a seller, we're still in a shortage, so you're still getting a huge number. If you're a seller, don't be greedy. Buyers are going to ask for closing costs. Buyers are going to offer under list. Understand that there's a good chance you're making a lot of money. Now, if you bought your house in the last 2 years, 2021, 2022, you got that nice 2.5% interest rate. the value of your house might decrease a little bit. All right, those are the people that if you're selling, that might have to make sure that, you guys are making enough money on the sale of the house to cover the sale. Those are the people that might fall into that trap, right, of selling it and not making your money back. But that's just within the last 2 years. But a lot of people are not selling because they're like, I got the interest rate, I don't want to sell anyway. So that's it. So buyers, again, like, start the conversation today. Like, don't wait on the conversation. Like, that doesn't cost you any money. Do the conversation. See if what you can afford today. Can you buy something today? And then if you're a seller, there's no wrong time to list your house. Once you're ready to list your house. You're gonna make money on it, and try to beat the market. We can see the active is going up a little bit, so we'll see. Anyways, that's it for this week's weekly market update for Las Vegas. Hope I was able to provide some information to you. Please, I'm open here for questions. Comment below or go to searchforhomeapp.com. Love to answer some of these. And I'm Justin Gannon with Urban S Realty here in Las Vegas, and I'll talk to you soon.